Hello there, Snorkers. Can you hear me? Hello there. Thank you for coming, those of you who are here. Like I say, this is just going to be a fairly casual test stream today to see what's going on, make sure things are working properly, make sure everyone can hear me, make sure the games work and all that sort of thing. So if you spot anything that's not working as it should, or if the stream is performing strangely, just let me know in the chat. I'm glad to hear it. It's always nice to know that you've made someone come. Especially when it's a gentleman as refined as yourself. Marvellous. So as long as you can hear the my voice over the music and one isn't too much louder than the other and whatever. I don't know how to get rid of that first viewer chat notification that's appeared there. Hold on. Let me see if I can... Oh, that's in the chat. Okay, never mind. Fair enough. That's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Right, so what we're going to do today, just so we have some semblance of structure, is I thought we'd play a few PlayStation 2 games, because Corioon over in Rose Tinted Spectrum's Discord earlier was talking with me about some PS2 games, so I thought we'd play a few of those. I thought we'd kick off with you can see that, the Sega Classics Collection. Unforgettable gaming history. Which is a collection of the Sega Ages 2500 games, I think they're called, from the PlayStation 2. They were released as individual PS2 titles in Japan, but then a bunch of them were bundled together into this compilation for European and I think North American PlayStation 2 users as well. So let's switch over and make sure this gameplay works and see if everything actually works. So, can you hear the game? Can you hear me? Is one too loud, too quiet, anything like that? Marvellous. Marvellous. Okay, I'm going to play Monaco GP because I like Monaco GP. This is one of Sega's earliest racing games. One of the earliest racing games, full stop, in fact. Not this version, though. This is the Sega Ages version where they've made it all fancy pants and polygonal and all sorts of modern words like that. So... yes, let's give it a go. There's a bunch of different ways to play this. There is a mode that is very akin to the old school arcade game. Then there's a Grand Prix mode where you do 5 courses and you earn points along the way as well. So let's play some arcade mode in classic style. So this plays like the old Monaco GP arcade game. But it doesn't look like the Monaco GP arcade game because it's all built with nice fancy pants polygons and stuff like that. Isn't that lovely? It's also really hard, as old school arcade games tended to be, but it's fun, so that's nice. Lovely bit of PlayStation 2 era heat haze there. That is not a stream glitch, that is heat haze. 3, 2, 1, go! Very easy to control this. You don't need any buttons at all. It's just directions. You push forward to accelerate, whoops, and then left and right to steer. And it follows... God. It follows a very similar structure to the very earliest racing games like Monaco GP and Turbo as well, in that you have a guaranteed amount of time that you can play the game for, which is that limit at the side of the screen. And then after that, you are limited in the number of times you can crash. So while the time is counting down, you can crash as many times as you want, but you want to try and score at least 20,000 points, because that will give you an extra life. After the time has expired, you've only got lives. And so after that, you want to try and play a bit better than I've been playing so far. Icy bits. My bits. They are icy. And then, so our time is running out now. You should be able to just see that we've got a dimmed out life at the minute. That will light up. There we go. Oh, it lit up just as I ran out of time. So I now don't have any extra lives. Never fear, though, because I will reach 40,000 points with no problem and get another extra life. And everything will be fine. No! That's amazing timing. I couldn't have planned that better. Yeah, it is a nice system. It means that people playing the arcade game, they have a guaranteed amount of time to play before they have to start demonstrating their skills a bit more. So that's really quite considerate. And it's not an excessive amount of time, so arcade operators can still sort of have their good turnover of players. But it also means that people don't get discouraged from playing it. If you think about some slightly later stuff, like things from like early 90s Capcom stuff, for example, I say that because that's fresh on my mind recently because I've been playing a bunch of the Capcom Arcade Stadium stuff. But a lot of that stuff, you can die within like the first 5 or 10 seconds of playing, and that can be very discouraging if you've put a load of pocket money into the machine. But this is very kind. So it's like only a minute to begin with. So in total, most play sessions of this will probably be around... damn it. They will probably be around the magic number of 2 minutes and 16 seconds, which was established by a guy at Atari as the optimal amount of time to have fun with an arcade game. Which is why so many Atari 2600 titles have a time limit of 2 minutes and 16 seconds. If that seems like a strange number, it's something to do with... it's something to do with refresh rates and the number of frames or something like that. It just happens to work out to 2 minutes and 16 seconds. But yes, that is apparently the optimal amount of time to have fun without feeling boring and without arcade operators getting annoyed that people are spending too long playing their games and not putting enough coins in. Ambulance! No! Alright, come on, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. Slippery, slippery, icy, icy. I guess the thing worth bearing in mind in this is that braking is okay, and you don't actually need to go flat out all the time because there's no time limit after that initial section. So if it's easier to slow down a bit, just in order to keep yourself out of trouble, you may as well do that. Oh no! Oh no. Well, that's very unfortunate. I'm gonna have one more go at that because I really like this game. Hello, Rosie. Happy to see you here. I think you do get more score if you go faster. Yes, Stalkers. In fact, let's put that to the test. Let's put that to the test this time around. We do indeed love Rosie, and your presence is very much appreciated. So, this time we'll see what effect speed has on score, if any. So if we start off by going nice and slowly, it's going up by roughly 100 points every second or so. And you can get hit from behind as well. If we accelerate, but yes, so the faster you're going, the faster the score does go up. So I guess it's tied to the distance you go, I guess. No. One other nice design element of this is while the other cars are crashing in front of you, if they're actively spinning out, then you can just drive straight through them. Which is nice. It means that you don't end up in pile-ups that aren't your fault. For the most part, anyway. Time extended. Oh, you little poo head. Yes, this is the Sega Classics compilation. I haven't spent nearly enough time with this because the games in here are great. This one is Monaco GP. If you've not come across it before, playing in the original style arcade mode. We'll have a look at some of the other modes in a minute as well. But this is a really fun, old school arcade racer. Right, so we'll have a look at the modern style take on arcade mode now. Which kind of works in a similar sort of way in terms of scoring and so on, but you have corners to worry about. I'll go for that red car again because that's the most balanced one. We have a selection of different courses now as well. So we'll start with the easy one because I suck, as we've established. And you'll see how this works. Right, so different screen layout now. We've got stars to collect this time around. And grabbing the stars increases your speed. There's power-ups, which are exciting, except I can't remember what button it is to use them. It is the X button to use them, the cross button. There we go. So in this one, you want to try and... You want to try and grab the stars as much as possible to increase your score and your speed. But you got to watch out for the corners. Now, interestingly, the corners in this don't work like most racing games. You actually go around them 45 degrees at a time by pressing the shoulder buttons. So you can press L1 and R1 to go by 45 degrees. I think you can also press L2 and R2 to go by 90 degrees as well. Nah. Now I've got a nitro power up there, so that will keep me speeding along for a bit. And you'll see the ambulance is still there causing trouble. We're into loser life territory now. There we are. That's how you take a corner in this. So I'm presently invincible, so I can just bash through cars. And I think you get extra points for bashing through cars when you're invincible in this mode as well. Oh, I just missed the ambulance. You know what? I don't think I've tried the Golden Axe version in this compilation before, so we'll give that a go next after this, as I'm interested to see what it's like. I know some of these games are a bit divisive because of the fact that some of them stray quite a bit from their original formats, like taking sprite-based games and turning them into polygonal versions, like they did with Outrun, for example. But if you take them on their own merits, these stand up. These stand up very well. Out of my way, blue car. No. As you can see, it's a bit more forgiving with the crashes in this one as well. If you bump into a car, you don't immediately explode, you just spin out, and I think you only crash if you actually play around to the side. So it's quite a bit more forgiving, so you'll get higher scores in this and your games will last a bit longer. I've got spring power, what does that do? That's another bounce the cars off into the distance thing, I think. And turn right, and right! Yeah, this mode's way easier, isn't it? Nine crash combo. I'm enjoying how the cars sound more like lawnmowers than Formula 1 cars. Gotta love a good poor quality engine sound from people who didn't have access to the things that they wanted to take samples of. I am unstoppable. Apart from by that side bit of road, that stopped me quite well. F1 about the air fist for Flymo. Indeed. Indeed. Every single one of these cars is hovering half an inch off the ground. Oh, my car is on fire. I guess that means I'm about to lose a life, so maybe you can take more damage from just hitting cars. And the ambulance... Oh no! Ambulance just driving through everyone. Absolute chaos here on the track. I am invincible. Smash. If I remember rightly, this game is developed by Tamsoft. Like this version of Monaco GP, I mean, is developed by Tamsoft, who are probably best known today for the Senran Kagura series of Titty Ninjas. They actually worked on quite a few of the Sega Ages titles and Simple Series stuff for Sega and various other people. So yeah, they've been keeping themselves busy. Oh dear. It's not going as well as it was. Excuse any scan lines you might be able to see, by the way. This is running at 50 Hz. There is no 60 Hz mode in this game, unfortunately. So when stuff is flickering, you get the odd bit of visible scan lines. Titty Ninjas. Am I going to have to introduce you to Senran Kagura Stalkers? It's a wonderful, wonderful series that is primarily known for having anime girls with huge bosoms in it, but it is widely beloved by people the world over for actually having a very good story as well and some wonderful characters. It's very widely beloved by the LGBT community because there's a lot of sort of representation of things like homosexuality and alternative outlooks on sexuality and gender identity and stuff in there. So it is written off by a lot of people, including most games journalists, as being mindless fan service. But if it sounds appealing, then I highly encourage you to check it out. Most of the series is available on Steam, so it's dead easy to pick up. There's also a couple on 3DS, some on Vita, some on PlayStation 4. But most of the main series, I think you can get on Steam now. And it's one of those series that is always in Steam sales, so I recommend it. If you want to start at the beginning and go all the way through, go with the one called Rebirth first, because that's a remake of the 3DS original. That's what I get for not looking at the screen. And then there's a whole bunch of other ones. The water pistol deathmatch one, Peach Beach Splash, is a lot of fun. But in terms of story for that one, it kind of helps if you've played some of the previous ones beforehand. Because despite seeming like a silly spin-off, that actually does advance the ongoing story of the series, so I don't even think Twitch have banned Senran Kagura, so if people are good boys and girls, I might stream it sometime. We shall see. I seem to have reached a point where I'm earning points at the same rate that I'm losing lives. So I don't know. I don't know how long this is going to go on for, but we'll see, I guess. Evidently, I should have picked one of the harder tracks, as this game wasn't ready for my amazing Monaco GP skills. No! Oh, it's the big car one. Give me the big car. Yes, now I've got the big car. And with the big car, I mean, it's basically the same as the other power-ups. You can smash into other cars and they explode. But, you know, it's just satisfying to have a great big car for a few seconds. No! Come on now. No! Oh, I'm on fire. I'm on fire again. And not in a good way. Not in the NBA Jam sense. No! That's another life down. Actually, I don't seem to be getting extra lives anymore. Maybe there's an upper limit on the score for you to get extra lives, and then after you've exceeded that, you just don't get any more. I guess we'll see if that's the case. But I mean, we're at 500,000 points now, which is 10 times higher than what we were scoring in the original mode. But I'm still having fun. I hope you are too. That's why while we drive, I can regale you with tales of titty ninjas and all sorts of things like that. So, you know, it's not all bad. Oh dear. I've lost my rhythm. Ouch. There we go. Because you kind of turn on the spot almost when you press the shoulder button, so there's a very specific timing to going around the corners that I still haven't quite nailed. Giving Snorkers a crash course in Alicesoft. I don't think I'd get away with that on Twitch somehow. I mean, I would love to stream rants. I'm playing through all the rants games and writing about them right now. I would love to stream the process of doing so, but unfortunately... unfortunately, if I wanted to do so, I would have to do it somewhere like Chatterbait rather than Twitch. And I don't know how big the market is for... I don't know how big the market is for fat, sweaty 40-year-old gamers on that particular site. People are more into Project Melody. Oh yes, I can introduce it to him on Discord, for sure. For sure. I've also written extensive amounts of words about it, so, you know. No! And then, interestingly, there's a touch of crossover between Alicesoft and Senran Kagura because their game, Evenical, has art and character designs by the guy who does the art and character designs for the Senran Kagura series. And it's a very good game, so, you know, there you go. Crossover. Worlds collide and all that. When did I lose my last life? Did I crash without noticing? Apparently so. I think we're probably nearly done. I don't know if we're going to break 1 million. It's possible. No, you leave me alone. You get out of here. Oops. That's a better corner, isn't it? Much better. Alright, concentrating now. Oh, we're on fire. We're on fire. It's nearly all over. Oh, you stopped being on fire after a moment, so I guess... I don't know. I guess you can recover from being on fire. I was on fire, but I got better. No! I'm still alive, somehow. At some point in all that madness, I got another extra life. So I'm sorry, but we're still going. Also, it seems when you're going at maximum speed, you get invincibility as well. That's what that sort of glowing aura around the car is. So you can get some big crash combos that way. The live snorkers are normally down in the bottom left corner. I don't think there is a health bar. I think it's just whether or not you're on fire. If you're on fire, if you crash again, your car will explode. The lives appear as little car icons in the bottom left. And there aren't any at the moment, so if I crash again, that is game over this time. Yeah, I'd say if you're going to play this game mode, pick one of the harder tracks. Pick one of the harder tracks, because this is fun. This is fun, but it is getting a little bit repetitive at this point. And I think just mixing things up a bit with a few more corners to worry about would make things a little bit more interesting. Oh dear. See, we're on fire now, so that indicates that if we crash, or if someone crashes into us, we should die. As such. Right, just shy of 1 million. I will certainly accept that. Right, so that is Monaco GP. Like I say, there's some other modes in that as well. The Grand Prix mode takes the scoring out, and you just do sort of racing for position in that one. And then there's time attack and versus modes in that as well. Let's leave that aside for a little while though, and let's have a look at something else. Let's take a look at the version of Golden Axe you were talking about a moment ago. Because like I said, I don't think I've tried that version before. So I'm curious to see if it is any good / rubbish. I guess we'll see. Can't be worse than Golden Axe Beast Rider. Now loading. Alien Syndrome. I'm not sure. I don't know about Japan because most of these games were released separately. Welcome back, Rosie. Most of these games were released separately as budget price games in Japan. So they were released at a 2,500 yen price point, which is about $20-25. And so in Japan, Alien Syndrome, if they did a Sega Ages version of that, that would be released on that thing. I don't know if there's any differences between the North American versions, though. Gods and titans alike, both possessing power unimaginable, caused the seas to boil, mountains to crumble, and the land to wither. However, the titans were finally vanquished at long last. And thus, the great battle was ended. The key was the great weapon Golden Axe, which had been granted the breath of life of the spirit of the earth. Time ebbed on, and humans took the place of gods upon the earth. The gods left Golden Axe in the hands of the people, and an age of peace and prosperity was known to all. Yes, Rosie, you're on Twitch. However, this time of peace was shattered when Death Adder, the lone surviving titan, deceived the humans and took Golden Axe away. Look at him in all his PS2 polygonovision. And that is where our story begins. Yes, Death Adder. Golden Axe. Splat. Right, arcade mode. Actually, let's take a peep at the options first. Those aren't very many options. Never mind. Arcade. Cirrus Flare, because obviously. Yes, they did make him nice and chunky and red rather than brown. So, if they released him during the PS3 era, things would have been different. Wallop, 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 wallop. Pick up and lob. So what do the other buttons do? That one jumps. And presumably there's a magic button as well. Terrorist Flare became Jet from Gladiators. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. Oh, so she has an exceedingly well-defined bum crack. Which is what you want from an Amazon warrior. Or whatever she is. Come here, you little shit. Okay, so something is charged up to maximum. This game didn't do too well because Matt Lees got angry. You know, this isn't Matt Lees related, but I did find it funny that when I was covering Jill of the Jungle a while back on PC, I looked back over it and there was an article from, I think it was Rock Paper Shotgun, who are occasionally as bad for this sort of thing, but there's an article from Rock Paper Shotgun who described Jill's climbing animation as icky. It was icky because she's wearing like a leotard and she climbs up and she has to move her legs to climb up the thing, and that's icky and disgusting. Ooh. That's what happens when you press square. You got a sort of twisty move. Ouch. I should stop playing around with stuff like that and actually hit things. How do we do the magic? Like that! You press triangle. Yes. Oh, look at those polygon seams. Look at the seams. Yes, no, icky was the exact word they used. And it just made me laugh because, like, Rock Paper Shotgun is held up by a lot of people as like being one of the supposedly best sites for games writing, particularly PC gaming writing. And for them to come out with like this sort of 12-year-old girl level critique on a widely beloved classic of PC gaming on the grounds of something as simple and stupid as its animation. I don't know. Oh no. Continue. Sure. You know what? This isn't awful. This isn't awful. It's not the original, but that's fine. It's its own thing. It's its own thing, and that works quite well. Can you run? You can run. It's taking the basic idea of Golden Axe and making it into one of the few attempts that they had at beat-em-ups in this era. Oh yeah, I don't remember that Eurogame award, but that sounds perfectly within character. That is some nice parallax, isn't it? I suspect that's probably achieved with, like, sort of cardboard cutout style layers rather than more traditionally, since the whole thing's built on polygons, but it still looks nice. Gives a nice bit of depth to what's going on. Her walking animation's a bit funny. She's sort of walking a bit like she shat herself, or that like she really needs to get to the toilet before she shits herself. I often wonder that, Snorkers. Like, if you don't like games, why are you making a career out of writing about them? And the answer to that is, for the most part, in my experience anyway, is that these people don't want to be games journalists, they want to be journalists. And they see that games journalism is a way into that field. It's a way into that field that is relatively easy to get into in comparison to some other fields. And they feel that if they can prove their worth with some sort of socially aware commentary and that sort of thing, then they may well end up being able to do something more in the future. I suspect that is what it is in a lot of cases. And that's not a great way of thinking about things, really. Largely because you don't necessarily want to... You don't necessarily want your news journalist to be particularly politically charged either. I mean, bias is always going to be a thing, but... What are you doing, Terrace? Why did you just do a Mexican wave? I don't understand. Anyway. Hate clicks. Hate clicks is exactly what it is. Because people have discovered that, unfortunately, that is an effective means of drawing people into a site and getting those clicks on the website, is to piss people off. Because people still are not wise enough to not click on something that makes them mad. They will click on something that makes them mad and they will go and shout at the author. And in most cases, the author doesn't care because they've written their piece. They've done fire and forget on it and left it there. And I speak from experience because I've written opinion pieces over on Rice Digital that I know are going to piss some people off. And I just don't look at the comments because I know they're going to be a trash fire. But what can I say? My job is to get eyes on that website. And I'm not especially proud of it, but, you know, that's how things work. Kotaku is the king of it, yes. Kotaku's gone through some interesting phases over the course of the last few years, I think, because... Yes, Terrace, show us your bum. Show us your bum! Because for a while, Kotaku looked like it was trying to be an online equivalent of sort of 90s men's magazines. Like FHM and stuff. Cheer 100 for Tyria's bum. Indeed. And she's still showing it now. She's got up, but she's still poking it right at the camera. Yes, the old Kotaku logo was like a proper sort of saucy anime girl, wasn't it? I mean, their name comes from otaku, so... But then, when it became fashionable to be sort of all like, oh, look what a good person I am, it all sort of went to pot, really. Ouch. Stop hitting me. I don't know if there's a block. Oh. Is there a block? Triangle the shoulder buttons. No. There's that turnaround attack, which is quite nice. But there doesn't appear to be a block. Okay, so just don't get hit. Don't get hit. She did indeed get tossed off by Tyrus. It's something we've all been dreaming about since the 1990s. The guy with the mace there is called Long Moan. Maybe he too was tossed off by Tyrus. Stop hitting me! I don't like it when you hit me. This is not awful. This is not an awful version of Golden Axe. It's not... Ah, damn it. It is not the best version of Golden Axe I've ever played, but it is also not the worst version of Golden Axe. And yes, you can run by double tapping a direction. Which I can't remember if you can do in the original Golden Axe. I know the later ones you can, but I can't remember if you can in the original. It's been a while since I played it. I like Golden Axe, but it's never been my all-time favourite beat-em-up. I do have to confess that. I've always been more of a Streets of Rage boy. The backgrounds are quite nice for the era. And the way we're... Toss! The way we're going through on a sort of journey and we've got the dynamic camera angles and stuff, that's all working quite nicely. I mean, dodgy water effect, yes, but what are you going to do? Budget price game. Streets of Rage 2 was close to perfection. It is amazing. I was very happy to discover the other day that Streets of Rage Remake, which I thought had been taken down by Sega a long time ago, still exists. And it's in a much more substantial form than the last time I played it. It's got something like 100 levels or something now, and characters from the whole series and that sort of thing. So I'm gonna have to pick that up at some point and give it a try. I do not like Axe Lady because she has a habit of charging in and just walloping me, and it's not very nice. Come on, Longmoan. I have you now. Toss! I'm not deliberately using the toss on her every time. It just seems to be happily working out that way. I'm not complaining. Come here, you bastard. Floor meat! Delicious floor meat. There we go. Long moan, indeed. He loves having a long moan on a nightly basis. Now, can you breathe fire with these? No. Well, I guess we'll never find out. Get up. Get up. Apparently Tiris thought she was throwing someone, but there was no one to throw. Oh, the pink one just had the tail. Yeah, like I say, it's been a while since I played OG Golden Axe, so my memory is a little hazy on the finer points. Stop it. Meat. Lovely meat. These guys are just called bad. Bad times 2.
Huh? Where are you going on such a dangerous thing? Useless fellows disappear.
I've got your use right here. I've come to slay Death Adder with this sword.
Alright.
Well, you know what you're getting. Magic! Look at my seams. Kaboom! Well, that was straightforward, wasn't it? Stage clear! Double Bronson, played by Tom Hardy. Bold Snorkers, yes. Campaign for Snorkers to be in every video game. Or you can tell they're different enemies because they're different colours, but they've got the same names. As we all know, blue is stronger than green. Although, as I recall from primary school, blues do their poos. I don't remember if there was one for greens. I know reds wet their beds. And yellows like marshmallows, which I feel they always got off fairly lightly in that regard. But with the others being a bit more scatological. Is this a fire-breathing one? Yes, this is a fire-breathing one. There we go. Burn! Burn in the fires of dragony death. You... No, don't hit it up the bum. Oh, you hit me up the bum! Toss. You get off that. That is my dragony thing.
There isn't any sign of the escaped villagers.
Through the dragon's cloaca, indeed. What's that shaking? I think it's someone moving the camera around.
It seems like it started to move.
It? What is it? All of the magic. I like the over-exaggerated flashes when you hit people in this. That's nice and satisfying. That's a very PS2 thing. Axe Battler! Yes. How's his name? I'd forgotten. What was the dwarf called? He was like something Thunderhand, wasn't he? Oh no! I've been tossed! That's not on. Gilius Thunderhead, that's it. Sorry, I'm not as up to date as I should be on my Golden Axe lore. Toss! I want your flamey dragon. Yes. No. No. This is unacceptable behavior from all of you. And you. And you. You have some too. All of you have some flaming death. That's true. You mustn't forget the equals. I'm never sure if you're supposed to pronounce it or not. Because what if Axe does not equal Battler? Maybe that's his evil twin. Axe exclamation mark equals Battler. Yes, that's it. You run into my flames. Come here if you dare. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Chris. Yes, there has been extensive discussion of dragons' cloacas. For those watching who don't know, Chris is my partner in crime for my podcast, which is on YouTube and SoundCloud. So we just recorded an episode earlier today. And that will be out on Monday, all being well. Where we talk lots about old Capcom games and Vampire Survivors type games and some other bits and pieces that I've already forgotten. And Titty Ninjas, yes. We're educating snorkers about Senran Kagura. Oh, cutscene. Nope, stage clear. Yeah, this is going swimmingly. Stage 4, start. Excellent. It's good to hear that you are continuing to fill your house with plastic. I'm not allowed to do that. I have a few plastic figures that I've picked up mostly by coincidence and chance, but my wife has said if I want the game collection in the living room, which it currently dominates, then I cannot also have a plastic figure collection, which is fair enough because we don't really have anywhere to put a plastic figure collection. The few plastic figures I do have are already sharing shelf space with video games, so... Toss! This is true. This is true. Space is premium, as is compromise. And I feel that my wife has been remarkably understanding. I don't feel too bad because she thinks that the whole display is quite cool as well. So, I mean, she doesn't play a lot of video games other than Final Fantasy XIV, but she does like to show off the shelves to people she knows, to her friends and work colleagues. I do indeed still have the Atelier Nendo, yes. In fact, I used it earlier on to explain to Andy what a Nendoroid was. Because a member of her raid group saw a photograph of my shelves and was asking if I had Senran Kagura Nendoroids. And I had to educate Andy that no, my Senran Kagura figures are small promotional figures in a chibi style, whereas the Nendoroid is slightly larger. But yes, Rorana is a pride of place on my shelf. She's not going anywhere. Look at the children running without moving their legs. Hey, it's safe over here. Axe equals battler. Tiris equals hurry on ahead. Floor meat. Give me floor meat. I need floor meat. Oh, it's just off the screen. I can't reach it. They got that part right, at least. Enemies and pickups sitting slightly off screen, just slightly out of reach. Because of course you can't move on until you've beaten the snot out of everyone in your near vicinity. Just like real life. If there was going to be anyone in this chat who knew the proper names of all the Golden Axe characters, Chris, it was going to be you, wasn't it? Can you tell me more about Loud Moan? Because there's a guy just called Loud Moan. And he showed up right as we were talking about people being beaten off by Tiris Flare, so, you know. Raspberry Men. Stop hitting me! Oh, there is a difference between Death Adder and Deathbringer. Is it not like one is an incarnation of the other or something? Was that Sensei? Beer Garden, Sega. Attention to detail. Oh no, I'm dead again. 6 credits to go. We can make it. I don't know how long this game is. Someone probably knows how many stages Golden Axe is, but I don't know if this is the same as Death Subtractor, yes. And Death Multiplier. He's the one you've really got to watch out for. Ouch. You're all demonstrating admirable knowledge of... You're all demonstrating admirable knowledge of Golden Axe lore, I have to say. I'm impressed. Gold equals fish. Magic time! Because why would I not? Get up! Get up for Bully's special prize! There we go. Sil equals plain. Sil is not plain, I'll have you know. I love her floofy hair. I want to put my hands in it and wriggle them around. Stage 5! We're on the back of a thing. Skeletons! Are they? I did not know that. Apart from skeleton, presumably. I'm unaware of a skeleton beer. Although, you know, with the craft beer industry, it's entirely possible there is a skeleton beer. That's interesting. That makes the presence of the beer garden in the background make sense as well. I mean, other than, you know, just making sense for the environment. Reminds me of one of my Atari 8-bit videos where I looked at a German-made Arkanoid clone called Unicum. Unicum is apparently like a Hungarian spirit. I don't know why they decided to call their Arkanoid clone Unicum, especially when they were German and not Hungarian. But you know, who can say how game developers think? Ah. Well, I think we've all learned something today about how Golden Axe is encouraging alcoholism as well as objectifying women with big swords, and therefore it should be shamed and boycotted for the rest of eternity. So saith Matt Lees. Small swords do need love too. You know, they have a place. It's not about the size, it's what you do with it, and all that. You know, if you poke a small sword in the right place, it can do just as much. It can have just as much of an effect as a big sword. A two-handed weapon. Stop it! I don't know why I'm saying that, because they're not going to stop it, are they? They will never relent. That's true. That's true. I mean, if you can't... Like, if you collapse under the weight of a big sword, for example... I mean, what's the point? The seagull's got a very flat neck. All the better to run along. That's true. Some enemies are intimidated by big swords, but surely that's a desirable effect. I mean, you want someone to look at your weapon and go, Core blimey, missus. I wouldn't want that up my ass. Or words to that effect. I see what you're getting at. I see what you're getting at. You are lampooning the use of weapon to mean genitals. And you are implying that enemies who are intimidated by large weapons, aka genitals, will be unwilling to engage in sexual congress. Sexual congress. This level is implying that the skeletons are living inside this creature's skin. Sexual congress. I mean, is that like the thing where a spider lays eggs in an injury and you just end up full of spiders? Yes. I'm glad we're all on the same page with Matt Berry. I have been watching all of Toast of London and Toast of Tinseltown recently, and it has been a wonderful time. You jumped up prick with your World War I facial hair and your sister's clothes. Yes, I can hear you, Clem Fandango. Mrs. Purchase, my balls are starting to fizz! Oh dear. As tempting as it is to turn this into a stream of Matt Berry impressions. Fire the nuclear weapons! Up, periscope! Down, periscope! Fire the nuclear weapons! Fire the nuclear weapons! With the mind the gap one, I love the one where they just say, "Yeah, Stephen, we think we could just leave a larger gap there. So if you could just make that even longer," and he just walks out. He doesn't finish it off until the end of the episode. That is genius. Toss. No, I don't want potions. I want floor meat. Oh, look at you going all isometric. Ah! 3 credits. Don't know if we're going to make it, but let's find out. Who said this game was rubbish? I'm having quite a good time. I mean, sure, we've been fighting the same 3 enemies for the entire game, but, you know, such was always the case for beat-em-ups. Excellent. What about the little elfie dudes? They've got to have a stupid name of some description. I think I knew Chicken Egg, actually. I don't know why, but that sounds very familiar to me for some reason. Really got to get the hang of dodging when they do those running attacks. Oh no, dead again! Yes, maybe they are called Aaron. But spelt like an Aaron sweater. And can you pose Gillis Thunderhead so that he is riding the chicken leg? In a non-sexual manner, of course. Of course. I would expect nothing less. Toss! Oh, big dudes. Hello. I think it's time for you-know-what. Dragon fart. I mean, not really fart, is it? I guess it's more burp. Dragon belch. Last night's curry coming back for more. Cutscene. Plot. What have you been doing this whole time? Hmm?
It's hot. Too hot.
Are we into a final stage? I think we might be into a final stage. Oh my god, wizards! Sorry, magicians. New enemy types, you can't pull this on me. Yes, I do remember that weird Sega Tennis game. That had, like, loads of really bizarre characters in it. You could be like Ulala from Space Channel 5. And Sonic and various others. So probably try and grab that, actually. Because I remember that was actually genuinely quite a good tennis game. I also remember the iToy Sega game. Which included the game where you roll Puyos down your arms. Yes, Sega Superstars Tennis, that's the one. I don't think I own that. I've got this collection here, and I've got the Sega Sonic collection for the PS2, which really sucks in its PAL incarnation, unfortunately, because it uses all the PAL versions of Sonic. Which run too slowly. Although it does have the Master System and Game Gear ones, which is good. I don't think I have Sega Superstars Tennis, though. I should try and nab that, because I suspect it's not a expensive title to pick up these days. I do have the iToy Sega game, though. With the rolling of the Puyos down your arms. If I remember rightly, there was like a tennis minigame in that as well. Ouch! Oh, that's not on. That's just not cricket. Get out of here. Come here. Come here. Yes. That's right. Ow! I don't think we're going to make it. No, let's think positive. We're definitely going to make it on 1 credit. Definitely, absolutely, positively, definitely. No, none of that. No, no! Ow! Target prioritization and space management. That's what beat 'em ups are all about. I could use magic, couldn't I? That would probably make sense. Let's do that. But then how will I defeat the boss? I can't possibly defeat the boss properly. Yes. Oh. Sent flying. No, 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 none of that, none of that, none of that, none of that shit. Get out of here. Oh, I see. Oh no! It's all over! That's upsetting. That's upsetting. But anyway, that was actually quite fun. That was actually quite fun. So, to anyone who tells you that version of Golden Axe is rubbish, gone a bit dark, hasn't it? Yeah, that's a little bit of light in. Yes, to anyone who tells you that version of Golden Axe is rubbish, it's not rubbish. It's not amazing, but it's certainly not awful. All right, what else do we have on here to enjoy? Let's take a look. Let's have a go. Let's have a go at Virtua Racing, because I do like Virtua Racing, and I'm also interested to compare this version to the wonderful version that is on Nintendo Switch. Because that is an absolutely fantastic version of Virtua Racing, and I'm not necessarily expecting this to be up to that standard, but, well. Virtua Racing is Virtua Racing. You can't complain about it too much. To be this good takes ages. Alright. Oh, there's modes. Check the options first. Probably not going to be anything useful in here, judging by Golden Axe's options. Nope. Vibration off. What's wrong with you? I'm using an upsettingly aging PlayStation 2 controller right now, which I picked up. And it rattles, so there's something loose in it. I don't know what's loose in it, but it still works for now. But the poor old thing's showing its age a bit. Pit start. What are the controls? Okay, so... Oh no! I have not yet figured out the controls, and that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. There we go. Right. And the handling for this feels a little bit different to the Switch version. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it does feel different, which is interesting. The Switch version is quite sensitive and twitchy. Whereas this feels like, yeah, it's got a bit more of a sort of gradual feel to it. Get yourself a nice sturdy Mad Cat. Oh yes. I've actually got quite a few DualShock controllers, because at various points in this household we've had at least 4 or 5 different PlayStation 2s. Because I had 2. I have another one that I, quote unquote, borrowed from someone overseas who stopped talking to me before they got their PlayStation 2 back, so I guess that's mine now. And then Andy had at least 2 PlayStation 2s that she acquired at various points. Well, Andy's my wife, for those who aren't familiar. Yeah, she had some PlayStation 2s as well. So we've got a mountain of official controllers in varying degrees of repair and disrepair. I'm not doing very well here. I'm not entirely sure why. And maybe I'm just pacing myself poorly. That's what she said and all that. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, the slightly different feel to the handling in this is a little disconcerting, having played the Switch version quite a bit. Because it's not nearly as sensitive. And that means you have to slow down for corners, which is unacceptable. Final lap on 11th. I think that may be our last checkpoint. Yeah, pretty sure. Oh! Game over! Oh, it's no Daytona game over theme, is it? But we'll take it. Right, let's have another go at that. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to have a quick look at the manual and see if there's anything I'm missing about the handling / controls / penis. Right, where are we? Fantasy Zone, Golden Axe, Monaco GP, Outrun. Hey, remember manuals? They were pretty cool, weren't they? Virtue Racing. X button accelerate, square to brake. No, I'm not missing anything. I just suck. I just suck. So let's have another go. Right. Let's turn the difficulty down to easy. And let's have the normal number of laps. And we'll see how it goes this time. Alright, let's do this. Let's try this viewpoint. I mean, aside from my ways with the handling, this is a good version of Virtue Racing. Oops. It's very smooth. It's got authentic levels of pop-up. And you know, it's got one thing that is superior to the arcade version, which is that the background skybox actually tilts when you go around bank corners, which is something that didn't happen in the original arcade version. Yeah, there's definitely a strange sort of heaviness to the handling in this that, I say, it's not bad, but it's just an adjustment. And requires a bit more use of the brake than I'm accustomed to. Still, we're doing better this time. Checkpoint! Oh, that was poorly handled. Always like Virtua Racing. I was always very impressed with the Mega Drive version. Because my brother used to work on a Mega Drive magazine back in the 90s. That was one of his earlier jobs in the games industry. And when he came back to visit me and my parents, because he's 10 years older than I am, so I was still at school when he was sort of getting started in the business. He would often come home and bring games consoles and games with him. So I got quite an early chance to play the Mega Drive version of Virtua Racing and was absolutely blown away by it. It's still an amazing technical accomplishment today. Even if putting all that custom hardware in the cartridge is kind of cheating. But still. Final lap! It's 7th this time, which is better. We might even actually not run out of time this time. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, can we turn around? No, you do need to brake for that one. I was just wondering if letting go of the accelerator was enough to slow down. But, well, it's fine for that one. This looks like a breaker. Ouch! Oh, 10 seconds. Oh, and there's the finish line. Come on, come on. He's done it! Goal. I mean, 6th. It's better than did not finish, I guess. Enter your name. E. J. E. Marvellous. Alright. Okay, we've been going for about an hour and a half or so. I think I'm fairly satisfied with how things have been going. Conversation seems to have died down a little bit as well, so that's absolutely fine. So I think it's probably time that we think about wrapping things up for today. So thank you to all of you who have shown up today and helped me out with this. I was very happy to get the feedback and the help from this. I spent far too much time fiddling around with Twitch Studio last night, getting these layouts and stuff sorted, and it was a lot of fun putting those together. It's been a lot of fun to do this stream. So what I'm aiming to do from here on is that on Wednesday nights from about 5:30 to 7:30 or so, that's the time of the week when my wife is normally doing raids on Final Fantasy XIV with her friends. So I'm thinking that would be a good time for me to stream. I know that's not ideal for everyone in the various places in the world, but you know, at some point you've got to pick a time and just sort of commit to it. So that's what I'm going to aim to do each week for a little while. See how things go. Mostly be retro related stuff, but there may well be some modern stuff at some point. May well be some Final Fantasy XIV. May well be some other console games and things. But we'll see how things go. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. So thank you to all of you who have shown up today. It's very much appreciated, and hopefully I will see you on one of my other streams. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Pressed the wrong bloody button, didn't I? There we are. That one.